Hello, we're so happy to be here today with you to present on using behavior modeling to increase peer communication. Our consultation team is here to assist in the behavior issues that you guys have been seeing at your school at the request of your principal. Our team consists of myself, Lauren, Carissa, Alexandra, and Shima. The goal of us being here over the next few months is to really help to increase positive peer interactions. We understand that not all students are able to communicate in the same way, and we really want to be able to support in your school when those conflicts arise in order to create a more positive environment for all that are involved. We know the two main behaviors that have been identified are fighting or having tantrums, especially during playtime. It seems that some students may be taking items without asking, or they don't know how to really request to play with a peer. So building those communication skills will be vital in order to help minimize those behaviors. So your principal reached out to us to support in determining a strategy that we can implement school-wide in order to assist in minimizing these behaviors and increasing the communication between the peers across the building.
As Lauren said, we know you want to increase your students' sharing abilities and increase their social skills. We plan to implement an intervention that is based on modeling and uses naturalistic interventions. These interventions will be used throughout the school day, across classrooms and settings. Ultimately, these interventions will be used by all classroom teachers and staff. As an outside company, we understand how it can be frustrating when new people come in. At Ellison, we know that you have a large staff as well as many parent volunteers. You are the people who know your students and their families the best. Because of that, we want to make sure that you all are involved in the process, and ultimately, you can use the information that we give you to then teach the other members of your staff. When thinking about the implementation of modeling and classroom staff and clinicians, everyone will be involved. For the initial implementation training, the teachers, assistants, speech therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and principal will all be involved. The speech pathologists and classroom teachers will ultimately have the largest role at this time, as we know that there are students who are nonverbal, so they will have a crucial role during the modeling of communication tools. Behavior modeling is an intervention that has been proved to be effective through research. The research shows that both modeling and naturalistic teaching methods can increase a student's social skills and language development. Ingersoll, Meyer, Brotner, and Jelinek in 2012 found that naturalistic teaching methods are focused in the natural settings and utilize prompting and reinforcements to teach social communication skills such as language, pretend play, imitation, and joint attention. The developmental social pragmatic perspective focuses on turn taking between the adult and child to increase language development over time. This naturally coincides with modeling as an additional intervention. This means that during your playtime at Ellison or in the classroom, adults and peers can model expected behavior turn taking for other students. We wanted to take a minute to talk about the implementation process of this intervention. At this time, we are currently in step 1 of the initial staff training. You are utilizing your school-wide professional development day by inviting us to Ellison and having us talk about some of the strategies used for the intervention. We're going to share our modeling training with all staff through activities and some videos that you'll see later. In step 2 of the implementation process, it's the in-the-moment training. We will be coming back to Ellison and spending 1 week in your classrooms. This way, we will get to know teachers and students. We will utilize the intervention by modeling for teachers and encouraging peer modeling through behavior modeling. Every day, we will conduct observations and provide feedback to the school staff. In step 3, we want to make sure that we continue the feedback. After the initial week in the classrooms, we'll be back once a week for 4 weeks. We will continue to observe, provide feedback, and support the continued implementation of modeling and naturalistic intervention.
Let's talk about what the initial training will look like and any additional materials that we will need. One of the great things about using modeling and naturalistic intervention for the needs that we are interested in for Ellison is that there will require very little, if any, additional materials outside of what we have here already. As outside consultants, we want to make sure that we're working together as a team and making the best use of our time together and providing you guys with the tools that you need. There will be plenty of opportunities to get hands-on practice with this method, as well as time to address any concerns or questions that you guys may have. There will also be opportunities for staff to earn prizes on a monthly basis for those practicing and implementing the strategies taught correctly and effectively. We want to give you guys an outline of what our initial staff training will look like. As Alexandra mentioned earlier, you guys are the ones that know your students the best, and we want to make sure that we are involving every staff member and volunteers to make this training as effective as possible. Some of the things of importance that will be discussed during this training will include talking about what the current needs here are at Ellison, what you guys considered appropriate play, and what a successful playtime session looks like. We will discuss what are some of the skills that are lacking or that need to be taught that are preventing students from having appropriate play interactions. We will go over in detail what the implementation plan and the reward system will look like for across the school building. There will be a discussion about what behavior modeling is and how we will be using it. There will be time to get into groups and get hands-on practice for this method through role play and through other activities, and there will also be time to collaborate with your specific classrooms. We will also be discussing what the importance of data collection and what it will look like throughout this process.
As was previously mentioned, behavior modeling is our main source of intervention. Behavior modeling will allow the students to see what appropriate and inappropriate behaviors are. Please watch the following video to view examples of what behavior modeling looks like and how we are going to effectively implement it at Ellison Preschool. Many of you might be wondering, how will behavior modeling help Ellison Preschool? We want to answer this question for you. By implementing behavior modeling, we'll be able to model appropriate social skills, which will ultimately decrease the conflict and increase appropriate play. Behavior modeling will also increase the communication between students, which results in a decrease in conflict and tantrums that occur due to students not knowing how to share. Behavior modeling will also allow us to better support teachers because we will be able to increase communication between classrooms and clinicians. There will be more support to analyze the function of behaviors and therefore provide resources that are needed. The school-wide implementation of behavior modeling will allow consistency between environments and staff interactions with students, which will help students generalize the skill of sharing and and carry that on with them for the rest of their lives. There will be a 2-hour training that will in length go over what modeling is, how we are going to use modeling in the school, and what it will look like. This training will also include how modeling will build upon the skills students need to be successful in academics and in their social skills. The training will also include prizes teachers may win and just explain why we need all teachers to implement this intervention. From that training, there will be a 2-day training in summer as we practice the skills that are needed to effectively implement behavior modeling so that we can be ready for the next school year. We are so grateful that you all allowed us to come to the school today and to present our information. If there are any further questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to answer any questions that you may have. Again, thank you so much for allowing us to come and work with you. We are excited to work with the teachers and to work with the students to build upon their successes. Thank you.